Hi there, this is Betakos. Welcome to another video. This time we are talking about the Barcelona versus Sevilla match. It is Sunday, 3rd of April 2022, local time, 7 minutes past 8 o'clock. Match kicks off at 22 hour, so we have 2 hours ahead of us to think about the match, study it the best way possible, and then come to a conclusion and make some decisions to go into our staking plan. First stop, as always, is the match betting stats card. The odds class for this match is 0.21. You can see it here in the right hand corner. For Spain, first category, we have 0.21, the smart tag, the odds class, whatever you prefer to call it. The main thing and the important thing is that I have 6 past meetings in my archive for this specific odds class. We had 5 home wins, just 1 draw, and no away win at all. Concerning the halftime, full-time market, we had 5 wins where the hosts were ahead in the halftime, and the one match ended as a draw. It was a draw at halftime too. Now about some goal forecasting. Again, if this is the first time you listen to me, I have split the time series in groups of 5 matches and then in groups of 3 matches, or else sets of 5 matches and sets of 3 matches. Now if we analyze the time series, we get a forecasting that reads right here in the card: minus 1 goal for the home team, 1 goal for the away team, when we are focused on the 5 match sets. And in the same manner, we have the figures: 1.25 for the hosts, 0.75 for the visitors, when we analyze its 3 games sets. Now the last 5 sets of 5 matches average for the hosts read 2.6 goals, 0.6 for the visitors, and then again, if we analyze the time series for each set of 3 matches, we get 2.75 for the hosts and 0.58 for the visitors. So we can see that we have a very strong trend for the home win. This is a question mark. How and why do we read a negative figure for the forecasting for the home team, minus 1 goal, and what does this mean? And then of course we can see a big gap concerning the averages between the 2 teams. We have something around a 2 goals margin in favor for Barcelona in this specific match. Now, what is going on with the forecasting? As I talk to you, we analyze each set of 5 games and then each set of 3 games. So this is the time series for the 6 past meetings belonging to this specific odds class. Again, 0.21, this is the smart tag under which this game is categorized or filed. So we have to filter the past meetings under the same smart tag, so we can analyze and we can get some statistic figures. Now these 6 matches can be split in 2 sets of 5 matches. So the last one, the very last set of 5 matches, reached an average of 3 goals for the home team. The previous one was 2.20, and both of these sets regarding the visitors showed us an average of 0.6 goals. In the same manner, in this cell and in this column in general, we can see the goals average for each 3 matches. So we have sets for each 3 matches. And again, the very last set of 3 matches, the home teams averaged 3.33 goals, and in the opposite, the visitors averaged just 0.33 goals. Now, in the 5 match basis, we can see that the average of the averages for each of the sets, as we said, each set consisting out of 5 games, we can see that we have an average of 2.6 goals. Okay, for the visitors, of course, it is the same as it is for each one of the sets. We are talking about 0.60 goals, not even a goal for the visitors. Again, if we split the time series in its in sets of 3 games, we get an average. We have 4 sets of 3 games, and they averaged 2.75 goals for the home teams and just 0.58 goals for the away teams. Now, the forecasting, how does it work? We have to answer that after this match that we are talking about, when this match ends, then a new set of 5 games is going to be formed. In the same manner, a new set for 3 games again is going to be formed. So we try to answer this question: how many goals should both the teams score in order for the new sets to average the same goals as the general average of each of the occasions? Okay, we talked about splitting games in groups of 5 and then splitting games in groups of 3 games. So this is the answer we get in the card. It means that right now the home teams have been overperforming, and of course we cannot see a football match in real life where one of the teams scores a negative figure. Okay, so this is unrealistic, but it is a guidance to what is going on. We can state that right now the hosts in this specific smart tag, in this specific odds class, are already have already been overperforming. It means that even if Barcelona do not score a goal, again the new set of 5 games is going to produce an average which is close to the average of the last 5 sets of 5 games. So we use the average of the last 5 sets of 5 games as a benchmark, and we trying to build the figures around it. In the same manner, we do the same for the sets consisting of 3 games. So again, we already know the average of the last 3 sets of 3 games, and again we try to answer the question: how many goals should be scored in this match, which will form a new set of 3 games. So again we are using the already known average goals as a benchmark to try to figure out what is going to be the case. So this is not something that we should follow blindfold. Okay, it is just an indicator of things. Now we have to combine all all the information around this match. We have a very strong trend. We know that already the home teams are overperforming. So the next uh, the next question is, should tonight Barcelona, being the next home team, continue this trend of overperforming, or is it the time when and where we expect things to change, the trend to shift? This is a big question. Uh, on the other hand, we have some big gap, talking about averages. Okay, 2.6 to 0.6, it's a gap of 2 goals, and again 2.75 to compare to 0.58, again it's approximately a 2 goals cushion for the home teams. Now we have to start making some decisions. Should we follow this indicator, meaning that we are not going to see Barcelona scoring a lot of goals? This is on the edge, but on the other hand, we also have an average showing us that hosts scoring a lot of goals. Again, we talk about a sample of just 6 matches, but this is something different. We're not talking about like a statistic as we should be talking about. Having a small sample is not something that should make us think that we cannot count and we cannot base our thoughts because the sample is too small. Uh, Splitting the games in such a way, using this kind of smart tags, doesn't uh, doesn't mean that when we have a very low sample we shouldn't start talking about it at all. It's a completely different story. Actually, it means that uh, these games uh, are not to be found so often. So there is a case that the indications we are reading through the stats should be good enough for us to move forward to our betting plan. Again, of course, we cannot ignore the home win, and the big decision for me should be or will be, uh, can I see Sevilla getting out of this game with the 3 points, and in what fashion? Uh, let's have a look at the actual score lines. It is just 6 matches. We can see that Sevilla has featured in this smart tag in the past, but being the hosts, not the visitors, as they are tonight. So uh, we had the first game in this smart tag, season 18-19, Sevilla versus Real Valladolid. We can see uh, the final score line 1-0. Then we have Valencia Real Valladolid 1-1. Sociedad versus Cadiz 4-1. Then we have Sevilla again. My bad, it is 2 times that Sevilla has featured, but as a host, and this time they were again victorious 3-0. Next match is Barcelona. So tonight will be the second time they feature as the host. Last and only time they featured, uh, they got the 3 points, 2-1, and then the very last match belonging to this smart tag, to this odds class, was Villarreal versus Levante, a 5-0 victory for the hosts. So we can see that out of 6 matches in this smart tag, uh, we haven't seen the visitors scoring 2 or more goals. So this is something that I am going to use. This is something that I'm going to base my betting plan around. So let's get started. We now start building things using Betakos Stake Calculator. Right now I'm starting off with 4 lines with four rows, and if we need any additional rows, of course we are going to add these two. So I'm going to start with a full-time market, full-time result. Of course I have to select the home win. Let's visit Bet365 to get some odds. Right now, as we can see, we can buy Barcelona winning at odds of 1.40. My bad, this is not the place to input the odds. This is the right cell, 1.40. Then we should take some cover in the draw. If you have followed me for some time using Betakos Stake Calculator in my videos, you already know that I prefer to go for two specific score lines in an attempt to cover the draw scenario. So again, I'm going to use, first let's just select the full-time score market. I'm going to copy it to the next cell too. Right now I'm replacing the draw as a full-time market with 1-to-1 draw and then 2-to-2 draw. So let's find out what odds we can get for these two specific selections. 1-to-1, 9, and 2-to-2, 29. This is a very high odds, which means that this scoreline, the bookies or the market don't fancy this kind of scoreline. Right now we have 3 selections. This is the total cost. We have a remainder of these units, 0.127 units, till we hit the 1 unit threshold. Right now we have a net profit margin of something below the 14.5%. Yes, it is something that won't get us rich tonight, but it is something that, based on the stats we just read about this match, 5 home wins, almost an absolute record for the home win, and just 1 incident going on the draw. So right now I think that we should be very safe. Okay, these 3 options, these 3 selections should make me feel solid enough to go forward. The big decision, as I stated earlier, would be, can I see Sevilla getting out of this match winning, and in what fashion? The only thing I could think, based on all these kind of stats, would be this specific scoreline, 1-to-2, again on odds of 21. Right now we have a net profit margin of around 8.5%. It means that for each 100 units I'm going to stake, I'm going to risk, I'm going to get a net profit of 8.5 units. So is this a good betting plan? Should someone feel comfortable about? Look, the odds are low enough for the home win. Barcelona is being considered from the market, mainly because the market always, and when I talk and when I refer to market, I just mean that the public is going to back Barcelona so much, meaning the odds are going to be in this territory of around 1.40 minus plus some little figures, but this is the root cause of us not being available to get something higher as a final result. Now, if someone would like to try to get something more out of it, this is the time where you say to your Betakos Stake Calculator, please just transfer any available remainder into this peak. So right now we can get up to just above 10% of net profit. But let's take a minute and consider what we are talking about right now. If we have an almost absolute trend for the home win, and if you have decided to go all in for Barcelona, this is a nice risk. It's not something, it is not the case, it is not the night where a big name, a big club like Barcelona is being flagged as a false favorite. No, tonight it is not the case. Uh, for me, the main reason to be comfortable enough to back my words is just the stats we read before. The stats read before, for me, it is the best foundation. I don't care what news are talking about. I don't care what the public are talking about. Uh, I haven't checked if players are missing or what is going on, or we have players not playing because of red cards or whatever. I didn't talk anything about this kind of news. For me, matches belonging to the same smart tag, to the same odds class, for me, it means that all these matches have similarities, and what is going to be happening concerning the final results for these matches, it is something that should be commonly be shared among among these matches. Okay, so right now we are covering and we are providing the top level of security for our stakes. Okay, uh, in other words, the first decision for this betting plan is that Barcelona is going to score at least one goal. If this is the case, then we correctly got rid of the 0-0 cover of a draw scenario. Okay, if Barcelona scores, then the 0-0 draw is out of the equation, so we correctly leave it outside. Now we are covering scenarios in which Sevilla scoring up to 2 goals. Okay, it will be an absolute surprise for me to see Sevilla scoring 3 or more goals in tonight's match. Now, because of some slight chances of Sevilla being able to score 2 goals, and because we are talking about soccer and of course football, and of course we have no guarantees uh, about football matches, because we're talking about too many factors that can alter or produce outcomes that before the kickoff we are not in position to know about. And combining this to our efforts from a betting point of view and risking our hard-earned money. So it is, for me, it is wise enough that, okay, I've seen that even the stats are talking about superiority for Barcelona, but they have to prove it in the grass. Okay, they have to prove it. So we're talking about football matches. We have referees, we have set pieces, we have human errors. I mean, everything. Just a moment is enough in during a football match to ruin a bettor's approach. Okay, so right now, let's think that we are covering all three outcomes. Of course, not all of them 100%. We are covering the home win 100%, and then we are partially covering the draw scenarios and an away win scenario based on stats and nothing else. Okay, we just analyze that if stats uh, didn't show us a visitor team facing the host in this specific odds class to be able to score 3 or more goals, then I have to stick to this trend. Okay, I don't know, maybe it is luck, maybe it is something else, but I cannot ignore that 6 past meetings there was not once where the visitors managed to score 3 or more goals. Of course, as I talked earlier, if Barcelona should see a red card and then everything is changed, or if Sevilla are lucky enough from set pieces, etc., or if Barcelona, yes, they are dominant, but they cannot just be clinical in front of goal and they fail to score or to utilize the bigger part of the chances created, or maybe it is the night when they are not going to produce so many chances, etc. We have to stick to figures, we have to stick to stats, and right now I am comparing same things. I'm not just holding an apple and try to compare it with some other kind of fruit, to pineapple, for example. Okay, right now when I filter the same smart tag, it means that I am talking around, I am comparing similar fruits. Okay, now if you feel that a cover to an away win scenario is it's not needed, you can save yourself, you can save this 0.05 units. If you again feel that you don't believe Sevilla scoring more than once, okay, then you can of course save yourself packing some units on the 2-2 score line. Now if someone is strictly believing is firmly believing that Barcelona, yes, they are going to be the absolute and they're going to be absolutely fine, and they are going to be dominant enough, and they are going to smash and produce a very convincing win, meaning scoring a lot of goals. Then we could just remove the coverage to the away win scenario, and we could go with something like this 3-1. So let me add a fifth row of selection. Right now we are going with the 3-1 scoreline, odds of 12. Let's pretend that we are not going to use this kind of units, so we save them. We are again slightly above below the 1 unit threshold. We have a slightly remainder right now, and let's say that we are not going to go all in just in the home win full time. We are going to be backing this specific score line. So again, please calculator, bring me all the remainder on this peak. Right now we can see that now something good is happening, because now we are talking about a net profit of around 50%. Yes, it is slightly above if we should stick just to one selection, that would be standard selection, going all in for the home win. Right now we are going all in for the home win but we have some coverage on a draw scenario. Of course, as said earlier, we discarded a coverage on a upset scenario on away win. So I'm giving you this kind of options because I want to show you that using Betakos Stake Calculator, there are no rules. Everyone is free to produce the betting plan that feels more comfortable for you. Okay, if you fancy that perhaps something you heard, perhaps we have a piece of info that is pointing towards that maybe something strange is going to happen tonight, and something is going to be strange tonight, meaning that Barcelona is not going to be as good as the public opinion expect them to be. Okay, so if you are going after an upset tonight, then we bring up this kind of upset. Again, it is an upset that it is based again on the very first decision we made. We need Barcelona to score at least one goal. Then if Barcelona scores one goal, then for the visitors, for the opponents to getting the 3 points, they have to score 2 goals. And it is as simple as that. The first away win scenario, it is the 1-2 score line. Now, again, because of the stats we read, we cannot go any further than the visitors scoring 2 goals. Perhaps you believe it, okay? Then just go for 1-3 score line. If you fancy an away win and you are a believer of this fact for tonight's match. So I give you two options. If you wish to offer yourself and your stakes a safety net, even in the scenario of a great upset, but in this specific scoreline, then you go ahead. And if you don't like, let's take this back. Right now, I'm going to get back the odds for the 3-1 scoreline 2. Right now, we are on the 8.5% of net profit, and if you decide that, why not going against the public? Okay, if Barcelona wins, which is called the normal for tonight's match, everything is fine. You will get a full refund of your stakes. If Barcelona is not so good and Sevilla is slightly better than expected, then we could very easily witness a draw. Again, I don't believe that this draw is going to be a 0-0 draw or a 3-3 draw. So again, in this case, you get a refund of your stakes too. Now, in case the world is upside down and something strange happens and Sevilla they get 2 goals, Barcelona, I don't know, for any kind of reason, they just score 1 goal, voila, you have the 1-2 score line. And if you order your Betakos Stake Calculator to bring all the available profit margin into this upset scoreline, this is what you get. A very generous return of almost 170% of net profit. Okay, again, you can try this kind of long shot, but keeping your stakes safe as much as possible. And the exact opposite is that you feel comfortable that Sevilla is not going to win this game in any way. The best thing they can do is to get a draw. So again, we remove these odds. Of course, I take this back. We had odds of 12 for the 3-1, and if we transfer it again, we can see that we saw it earlier, it is 52%, but we have an asterisk here, because if the scoreline should be the winner, it means that the full-time market is going to be a winner too. It means that in this example, we are including two selections in the same direction. Okay, a 3-1 scoreline, it means that again the full-time is a winner. So Betakos Stake Calculator is set to give us the combined net profit margin available. So in this instance, if pick number 5 is the winner, it also means pick number 1 is the winner. Okay, perhaps I need to remove this kind of line. So now we can see that Betakos Stake Calculator is adding the combined profit margins because we have two winners. We are not talking about having 4 selections and just only one of them can be the winner. In this case, if 3-1 is the winner, the full-time is a winner too, because this is the 3-1 scoreline is a subset of the full-time market. So if we focus on the return units, it is preset that we use the benchmark of 1 unit. That's why we are talking about that we should be keeping the cost units below the 1 unit threshold, because one of the selections should be the winner and the return is going to be 1 unit. So anything below the 1 unit means that we have a profit margin. In this kind of example, we have a multi-winner scenario. It means that not one selection out of our 4 in this example is going to be the winner. We have the possibility, we have the chance that we are going to get 2 winners. Now, if Barcelona is going out in the match and they win it 1-0, it means that the full time is the winner, so we get the stakes back. But if 3-1 is the winner, we do not get only this kind of net profit, because again we also get 1 unit return, which is based on the full-time market. So if this is the winner, pick number 1 is a winner too. So this is the combined net profit margin available to us. Again, if you just fancy a 2-2 a great match and draw 2-2 always means that we have just witnessed a great match. And if you transfer all of the remainder into this selection, then you see that we are almost doubling your money. We are talking about a 90, almost 92% of net profit going in these selections. So the final decision is up to you. I just wanted to present just for another time what is going on behind the scenes, how I study the matches, what is my starting point. Again, it is my archive, my personal archive. I have a spreadsheet full of past results. Okay, this is my archive. You can see that it goes back to 2018. It goes back, give me a moment. It goes back to 2018 till present time. It is almost, right now we are reading 11,000 rows of data. So this is how I keep my data set. I cluster the matches. So right now, when I need to read one match, I can see that based on the odds class, I have 6 past meetings on this smart tag. Then I have also a 5 past meetings based on the second smart tag I use. The one is the odds class, the second is the percent class. And this is my backup class because in I have matches where I don't have enough samples, as we can see in this example, Sampdoria versus Roma. I don't have any past meeting belonging to this specific smart tag for Italy's Serie A. So this is my backup. This is the percent class where I have a sample of 5 games. So if I don't have enough of sample based on the odds class, then my second choice, my backup choice, is the percent class. Again, the same philosophy. Odds class is produced by dividing the home odds to the away odds. Now the percent class, it's the same philosophy, but in this time, instead of using the odds, I'm using the percentage figures reflecting the odds. So you see that zero zero past meetings, but the percent class produces 5 past meetings. So these 5 past meetings is a sample I could be working on to make up my mind and my decisions, and then turn these decisions into my betting plan. So my final step is to also decide how many units, how much money I'm going to be betting on this specific match. Uh, Based on the minimum stake allowed by your bookie, and you set it up in this specific cell, then based on your odds for your betting plan, the Betakos Stake Calculator produces the minimum stakes you have to be betting 2.40 euros or $2.40 minimum for you to be able to make this betting plan a reality, to be able to make it happen visiting your bookie. Okay, now this is the minimum, and you can set whatever units you would like to be risking in this match. Right now I have a total of 8 euros left in my account, so I could just set it 8 euros, and then the calculator, as we can see in this column, is going to produce exact how much I should be staking in each of my selections in order for me in order for this betting plan to become a reality. Okay, if I'm not in position to calculate that I need to bet 5.71 euros out of my 8 as a total into this peak, meaning 1.4 odds, then this staking plan is not going to work at all. Right now, for me, I would like to stretch it. I would like to stretch it on the scenario that Barcelona is going to be victorious tonight. So again, my first big decision, Barcelona scoring. If Barcelona scoring, then I am in a very good position for at least not losing any money. Okay? Priority number one for me, Betakos, personally, is to secure my stakes. Yes, if you are trying to make money out of betting, you have to take part. Okay, you have to be in the game. So you have to put some money on some selections. If you don't risk anything, then you are not going to get back uh, anything. Okay, it is as simple as that. But it is not like I'm trying to become a one night rich guy. Okay, no. Betting is a long term process. So right now, yes, I'm interested in trying to get something out of this match. I have a strong trend for the home win. I can add that I feel that Barcelona lately have been producing some good performances. Okay, we all remember that they won as visitors against Real Madrid. So right now, I think why not? Uh, this is going to be another night where when they get a victory. So I will try the long shot of the 3-1 score line, and I will transfer all my available profit into this one. Again, as we talked earlier, this is not just 52% of net profit, it is 152 of net profit, and this is the split of my €8, okay, in these four selections. So I have built another screen, which is this one. Right now I'm focusing just to make this happen, and I don't want to see all of this information because it's going to be eye tiring, okay, and I just need to focus on placing my bet. Now it is very important that you fill in your info in the Betakos Stake Calculator in the same queue, in the same manner as you pick your betting slip. Right now, we have we need to make sure that the bet slip in our bookies is in the same queue as our Betakos Stake Calculator. So let's check it because we had some variation we talked about. So right now we have first pick Barcelona as a full-time winner. Okay, we are correct, 1.40. Then we have the draw, yes, odds of 9. Then we have the draw 2-2. Right now we have odds of 23. This is even better for me. I discarded the scenario of Sevilla getting 3 points, so I remove it. So my last choice, my last selection is Barcelona winning 3-1, and right now I'm getting something slightly better, 13. It means that okay, my profit margin now goes up. If this is the case, 3-1, I will be living with a profit margin, net profit margin of around 170. Okay, in all of the rest, in the rest of the scenarios, all I'm getting back is just my stakes, no profit and no loss. Now, if you would like to, okay, to maybe some of us would like to, no matter what, close the night with some gains, okay, and because this is a long shot, you can say okay, uh, yes, I would like to just give it a try, but in case that Barcelona takes the 3 points, I don't care if it is 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-0, 4-1, or any other score. I would also like to be getting some profit just in the scenario of any kind of home win. In this case, we could be using the grouping the grouping functionality of the Betakos Stake Calculator. All it means is that maybe you fancy the the full-time market, and again we need to go after the 3-1 score line. So we need to choose these two selections. We need to come to the grouping column. We name these two selections as group number 2. Okay, then we have to come to the group modifier and we order the Betakos Stake Calculator. Please give us all the available profit margin only in this group number 2. It means that I just input 100% in both of these groups 2 selections. After that, I need to copy the group splitter into the biased remainder splitter, just clicking this little arrow above this column. So it means that if the final result will be any kind of a full a home win, or should it be the 3-1 victory, we have a profit margin of just 6.88%, which is not so good. Again, yes, if 3-1 is going to be the winner, pick number 1 is going to be also winner, so this is the combined. But all it means is that we don't have this kind of room based on the odds to ask something high enough to cover our needs. So in reality, I don't believe that too many of you watching this video would go after this kind of scenario. So I'm going to revert it. I'm going to take it all back. I'm going to reset. I'm going to reset the group modifier. I'm going to reset the grouping functionality. Means that all these 4 selections belong to the same group number 1, which is just preset. I just wanted to demonstrate to you that we also include this functionality of grouping in some other example where the odds are high enough. Maybe someone could be more profitable going after a grouping scenario. The grouping scenario also help us achieve that. I don't know, maybe a group has 2 or more options and you would like to achieve the same result. If I'm going to remove the mark for the multi-win, and let's say we didn't have the 3-1 full time here, which is a subset of the full time chosen in pick number 1, and was something that was pointing to an away win. It means right now it means that we are in a scenario that we leave a split, we split the profit margin equally in all of these 4 selections. So this is something automatically happening because all these 4 selections belong to the same group and we have the same profit margin no matter which selection is the winner, because of course they are referring to the same group. Now if you want to achieve that, I need these 2 options to refer to a different group number 2. Okay, and you would like to achieve that no matter what, no matter if 1-1 is the final result or the 2-2 is the final result, I need to have again the profit margin equally split it. This is the reason why we use the grouping. This is the reason why we have to come here and say, please give me 100% of the net profit only in this group, meaning only in these 2 selections. Now if we transfer the group splitter to the bias remainder splitter, we can see of course that the other 2 options act as the safety net, but we can see that we have achieved an equally splitted profit margin across group number 2. If we are not going to be using a group, and let's delete the bias remainder splitter too. If you would be trying manually to achieve it, because we can manually use any kind of percentage on each of these selections, we we could go like something like this. I need 80% of the remaining to be placed in this selection, then I need 5% on this, then I need the rest of 5% on this, and then I need the rest of 10% in this. Right now we have manually altered the figures, but it is not easy for us to achieve the result if we need the first choice or the second choice to be the same profit margin. Okay, this is very difficult because you are forced to keep trying some combinations, just uh, uh, just keep trying till you are lucky enough to achieve this. So let's try another combination. Let's say 70 and 10 and 15 and 5. So you will be focusing uh, in these two selections. Let's try to pretend that we are trying to achieve equally split profit in these two selections of the draw scenario. We could be starting like 50 and 50. Okay, but as we can see, because we are giving 100% in total only in those two selections, it means automatically that we get no profit, we just get a return of our stakes if one of the two other selections is the winner. Now, because of the fact that we have different odds for these selections, it is not going to be working like uh, using the same percentage. Okay, this odds is lower than this. It means that this should be higher than this. So 60-40, does this make the trick for us? No, because we are getting 29 and then 49, but we need this to be the same. Okay, so should be 70-30. Now we are closing. Okay, now we are closing. Should be 72 to 28. Okay, that's even closer. So instead of just going out randomly manipulating the figures, we say, do you need to have the same profit uh, in a scenario that one of these two selections is the winner? Okay, then I give you the grouping functionality. You name it group number 2. Then you say that you need all this profit available to be transferred into this group, and as you can see here, this is the right split between these two selections based on the odds, and if we copy it to be able to have an equally arranged profit margin on both of these selections. Okay, now for me to close this video, I'm going back to my originally selected scenario. I'm not going to be using any grouping functionality. So I'm going to revert all, I'm going to reset all of these things. I'm just focusing, I can see Barcelona winning tonight and I wish they win in a bold way. So I'm going to chase the 3-1 scoreline, and I don't even need this 5 or almost 6% of net profit. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to transfer it all into this scoreline so I can hit 170% of net profit. Local time 21 hour and 6 minutes. Match kicks off at 22 hours, almost an hour, and I am closing this video. The minimum stakes needed for this specific betting plan would be 4.60. euros, I'm going to use the rest of my account, and this is how my stakes should be split across the 4 selections. So I'm going back to my bookie, 1.44. So this is even better for me, okay, because now I'm getting something higher. I'm getting up to an almost 200% of net profit. Okay, this is even better for me. 1.44, and I need to be staking 5.56, 9 odds of 9 for the 1-to-1 full-time scoreline, 0.89, 0.35. It is as easy as you see it right now in front of your screen, because we have set it up in the same queue, okay, in the same queue. So it is like going and inputting your wages blindfold, almost blindfold, in your bookie, okay. And my last wage is this. Right now we can see that I have a decline of just 0.01, so I'm going to remove it for my last pick. So this is how simple it is for me to place my wages in the right way for my betting plan to actually get to work. Okay, this is it. Place my bet. Okay, I have some slightly changes. Let's just reproduce it. This is now 8.5. This is back to 21, and this is back to 12. I don't know why this is happening. Maybe they are being afraid of something, but I have to correct, because right now we are getting back to 168%. Now we have some slightly changes. We can see that second choice, now I need to be waging 0.94, 0.38, and 1.12 in this instance. Okay, this is again my scenario. Let's, okay, now it is placed, it is accepted. This is what it is. Now my job is finished. All I have to do is sit back and take my drink or my snack, and wait the match to start and enjoy a very nice match. That was all for me for this video. It was Betakos talking to you about Barcelona versus Sevilla, and presenting to you once again the power of Betakos Stake Calculator and the logic behind it, and what it's going to be offering to you as a user of this unique betting tool or betting calculator. That was all. Wish you the best of luck in whatever you pick for this match. I hope we all enjoy a very entertaining match. See you in the next video. Stay safe. Thank you very much for your time. Please give a thumbs up if you liked it. Please share it with your friends. Till the next one, thank you very much once again. See you around.